Something that's never changed from when I was a kid to being an adult is this idea of wanting to fit in or trying to fit in. Doesn't matter if I was a kid, if I was a teenager, if I was an adult in college, or if I'm a fully grown man in the workplace. There's this need to conform to those around us, to fit in. And I think that in certain ways this can be detrimental. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be one of the cool kids, like a lot of people growing up. That's nothing new. But if you take this idea too far, you don't want to change yourself for other people. You don't want to compromise on who you really are for other people. Think about it. Like, if you're a kid and you really like music, but you're trying to be the cool kid and play sports, you could have become this insane instrumentalist or this really good pianist because that's actually what you really loved, but you chose to give that up because it wasn't as cool as being the jock or being the basketball player. I think this idea of fitting in is robbing a lot of us from discovering talents, from discovering who we really are. And a thought that's coming to mind as I'm talking about this is I was having this conversation with my older sister yesterday, and she's turning 40 later this year. And, I was asking her, hey, how do you feel about turning 40? What are some lessons learned? Can you share some wisdom with me? And she had something very interesting to say. She said she spent her entire 30s trying to figure out who she is. And this is interesting to me because she got married, she had kids, she built a family in her early 20s. And it took her a whole decade to start figuring out who she is. And it got me thinking, how many of us don't really understand who we are for various reasons? Maybe actually a lot of it could be explained by this idea of trying to fit in, this idea of trying to be accepted and validated by those around us, whether it's our parents, our friends, our community, whatever it is. And no, I don't think you should go out there and not listen to your parents. Listen to your parents. They have more wisdom than you. Use common sense. But when it comes to fitting in, I think there's a lot of pressure in society to do certain things or to not do certain things that could be detrimental. Bring it back to the example of the kid in middle school or elementary school who loves music but wants to be the cool kid. Go pursue music, go play piano. I think it's important for us to follow those desires that we have in our heart, of those things that spark our curiosity. What makes us different in a way makes us unique. So I think a lot of us are afraid too that if we are different or if we don't fit in, we'll be alone. We'll be alone forever. We won't have any friends. We won't have any people that care about us. And I really don't think that's the case at all. I heard something recently. It was like, if you don't know anyone that's trying to do what you're trying to do and you're lonely or whatever, it's only a matter of time before you meet those people. You start doing the stuff, whatever thing you want to do, you start doing it, you're bound to meet people on that journey, on that path that are actually just like you. And how much more beneficial it is to have those people in your life than have people in your life that aren't like you and you're trying to be like them because you're trying to be cool. You're not being authentic to yourself. An example in my life, something I felt was I used to be a software engineer working in big tech, and I really wanted to make social media videos. I wanted to turn on my camera. I wanted to start speaking and documenting my life and whatnot. And it was extremely difficult because I felt, for various reasons, but one particular reason was because I felt a massive sense of like I'm diverging from the crowd. I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. I'm that software engineer guy that is making videos, and I know we see some of those people online, and they're doing well for themselves. But for me in my world, all my friends, I was worried about what my friends would think. They'd all look at me and be like, "Oh, what are you doing, man? Like, this is weird." And that was this urge to fit in, to be like everyone else, that was actually holding me back. It was preventing me from doing something that I wanted to do in my heart. And I didn't know no one that did social media. And it's funny because life, I believe in God, but regardless, life has a way of bringing us towards people or attracting certain things once we start living in alignment. So when I started doing social media, all of a sudden I started meeting other people that were doing social media. And now I have a community of people that are encouraging me. They're giving me feedback. We're building together in a way, separately, but together. And it was all because I decided to stop fitting in, so to speak. I decided that what I wanted to do was more important than what everyone else wanted me to do. And I think that's a very powerful, assuming common sense, is being used. I'm not saying you should go do bad things just because you want to do them. Definitely don't. But when it comes to genuine desires of your heart, of wanting to do certain things, or wanting to pursue a career, or even make social media videos, don't let anyone stop you from doing those things. And you will meet people along the way that have what you want, or that are doing the same thing. You're going to meet like-minded individuals, and you're going to surround yourself inevitably with better people instead of people that are, I don't want to say pulling you down, but people that are not really encouraging you to do the thing that you want to do. So I don't know where you find yourself today, but my encouragement for you today is to do the things that you want to do, whether it's leading you to fit in with the current crowd or not. Know that when you do decide to do things, you will attract those people in your life. You won't be alone, and people will love you. And how much more fulfilled will you be when you're surrounded by the people that love you for who you are, instead of this other person that you're not really.